Okay, so we have a new story this week, starting today, and it's the biography of Tomas Rivera. And before we start reading, I want to make sure that you know some of these words. These are our words to know for the week, okay? So this word is work, W-O-R-K, work. People go to work every day. This word is great. She did a great job baking this cake. This word is talk. He likes to talk with his customers at his job. This word is paper. This artist does his work on paper. Were. The farmers were very busy today. Soon. Soon it will be time to go to lunch. Laugh. A silly clown makes everyone laugh. Done. He goes home when the work is done. You'll notice as I read the story that these words will all be highlighted in yellow because those are very important words this week. All right. Tomas Rivera. The essential question, why is it important to learn about people from the past? So we've been learning about people from the past. We talked about Dr. Martin Luther King. We talked about Catherine the computer. Now we'll be talking about Tomas Rivera. Tomas Rivera was born in Texas. Tomas and his family went from place to place picking crops. Do you guys know what crops are? Those are like large quantities of plants that farmers grow. A crop can be really anything, strawberries, vegetable, any type of vegetable. It's just a large amount of it. Tomas helped pick crops all day. It was a lot of work. When the work was done, Tomas would talk with his grandpa. I feel like they might be picking strawberries in this picture. Okay, come on, you. Come on, you. Come quick, Grandpa called. It's time for stories. You tell the best stories, Tomas said. I wish I could tell great stories too. The next day, Grandpa said, We can get lots of stories for you, Tomas. When? Asked Tomas. Quick, hop in, Grandpa said with a wink. I will show you. Grandpa drove the truck up the road. Let's make a prediction. What do you think they're going to get lots of stories? What do you think a place could be that they would be driving to get lots of stories? This is a library, said Grandpa. Look at all the books, gasped Tomas. Read all you can, Tomas. It will help you think of lots of stories, said Grandpa. There were lots of books for Tomas to read. Some were funny and made him laugh. He read about boats, trains, and cars. He dreamed of space. Soon Tomas was thinking of his own stories. Tomas began telling his stories. Then he wrote them on paper. So let's pretend that you didn't know what the word paper meant. How could you tell, looking at this picture, what the word paper meant? Then he wrote them on paper. What's the clue? He's holding it, right? This wouldn't be paper because Tomas isn't holding it. Tomas is holding this, so that must be paper. Those are the clues that you need if you're learning a new language. We call them context clues. So you can get context clues from a picture or from how the author uses it in a sentence. But a lot of times you can figure out the meaning of the word without someone telling you what it means. When he was a grown-up, Tomas got a job as a teacher. He still wrote stories. Tomas Rivera's stories tell about people picking crops, just as his family did. Lots of people read his books. Now his name is on a big library. Many people go to the library. They get books just as Tomas did. The end. All right. So why is it important to talk about people from history? So we learned that Martin Luther King Jr. was a reverend, and he helped people in his community, right? He helped them fight for equal rights. We learned that Catherine the computer stood up for women, and she wanted to be inside the same meetings that men were at. And she was really good at math, and not a lot of women were pursuing that field at the time. Then we have here Tomas Rivera, and he grew up really with kind of a hard life, picking crops in the fields, but he had a really great role model who taught him to love books. So reading about people from the past can really help us decide what's possible for us, right? By looking at what others have done, we can see, oh, well, I could do that too. Or I could do something even better, or I can do something that reminds me of that. So it's really important to look at the stories from people in the past. Really, really important.